Welcome back to Jerusalem Dateline. Israelis are marking the 20th anniversary of the assassination of Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin. CBN founder Pat Robertson interviewed Rabin decades ago about his views on peace with the Arabs and Jerusalem. Even after all these years, the issue of peace between Jews and Arabs remain the same. Here's Julie Stahl.
It was Saturday evening, November 4th, 1995. Rabin had just sung Shir LeShalom, Song for Peace, along with a crowd of some 100,000 Israelis at a peace rally in Tel Aviv.
He was a man of the left who was respected on the right. He was a man who was cautious, who made bold decisions.
Shortly after he left the podium, Rabin was gunned down by a Jewish extremist.
It was not just a political assassination, it was the murder of a hero and a grandfather.
The murder stunned the nation and the world. Leaders from some 40 countries traveled to Jerusalem for Rabin's funeral.
Though we no longer hear his deep and booming voice, it is he who has brought us together again here, in word and deed, for peace.
Just 8 years earlier, CBN founder Pat Robertson interviewed Rabin. Rabin told him Israel must remain strong in the face of threats.
Does it seem as if Syria, possibly any of the other Arab states, might want to move into some kind of a jihad against Jerusalem, against Israel, or is that likely?
I believe that they'll never be able to fulfill what they try to achieve, as long as we'll keep our powder dry, our belief unshaken, and we'll have the patience to do what our heritage, religion, call us to do.
Michael Widlansky, author of Battle for Our Minds, says the problems in the world were the same then as they are now.
Some of the world's leaders don't interpret events correctly. Rabin was genuinely loved in Israel, but even at the time of his death, many Israelis thought that his bold action towards peace was a mistake.
2 years earlier, Rabin and PLO Chairman Yasser Arafat's representatives signed the Declaration of Principles in the presence of U.S. President Bill Clinton on the White House lawn.
The agreement with the Palestine Liberation Organization did several things. First of all, it saved the Palestine Liberation Organization. The second thing is it brought in an era of terror unmatched in Israel's history. And the third thing is it taught Israelis that to build peace required more than just hoping for peace. It meant building security.
In 1975, 18 years before Rabin shook Arafat's hand, he told Pat Robertson superpowers could play a role in Arab-Israeli peacemaking, but not replace the parties themselves.
Any peace negotiations have to start on the assumption that the purpose of the exercise, the purpose of the negotiations, is to make peace. And to make peace between whom? Between the Arab countries and Israel.
In 1979, Israel signed its first peace treaty with Egypt, and in 1994, its second treaty with Jordan. Both agreements have had their ups and downs, but have held for decades.
The peace agreements that Israel made proved several things. First, Israel wants peace. Secondly, Israel can make peace with real countries when there are real joint interests. But third, Israel should not try to make peace with make-believe organizations of make-believe minorities, with make-believe national movements.
Widlansky says if Rabin were alive today, he'd be having second thoughts.
I think he would be very disappointed with his own endeavor and would say Israel has to rely upon itself, upon God, and upon its own better judgment to survive and to thrive.
Julie Stahl, CBN News, Jerusalem.